What up, YouTube? It's Clarity here. I'm now doing the next anime, which is ranked at number 1169 currently, right now. I don't know if it changes or anything. I don't know. But it's by Zebek, or Xbek, I guess. I don't know how you say it. It starts with X. And I think it was released in like 2006 till 2007. And it's like, I think 26 episodes, if I'm correct. Yeah, I think it is. Again, this is around when I was like in middle school, so probably 7th or 6th grade. But this anime is called Buso Renkin. It's interesting, actually. It's like, again, like almost like the last video for Black Cat. It's action, and then there's superpowers, so it's interesting. I would say probably like romance, but I guess there's not. Oh well. 16,000 people generally have seen this anime and watched it, and I think it's rated at like a 4 stars. I think 4.2 maybe at the least. But here, okay. So here's the story of it. So I guess like you remember like if you hear the saying like there's some things in life that are so bad like that you pretend they're just a dream. But this happens sadly for the main character, Kazuki, who is trying to save this girl from being brutally killed by monsters, but what happens in the end, he ends up dying instead. Again, spoiler warning in description below. Don't hate me. And it's an unfortunate reality. But out of pity, this girl replaces Kazuki's heart with an alchemy-based thingamabobby. I can't remember the name of it. As a the Kakugane, so that he can live. And with the strange device, Kazuki gains like the power of Buso Renkin, which is the name of the anime. And what I see, it looks like a sword. Or Buso Renkin means arms alchemy. It's like a power that will come in handy when like monsters and worse begin to plague his hometown. And soon Kazuki meets this girl from his dream. I almost called her Kokiko. No, it's Tokiko. Yeah, Tokiko. And in reality, she tells Kazuki to get on, like, move on with his life. Do not interfere with what I'm doing. But with the sisters and friends in danger, that's out of the question. You don't want family, and he doesn't want his family and his sister and friends involved. So, besides, if Kazuki gives up the chance to show off just how manly he can be, how can he hope to win the heart of this alluring older sister like Tokiko? Obviously, he's trying to hit the hots for Tokiko, or he's got the hots. Again, this anime, I gave it like a 5 out of 5 stars. I've watched it like 5 times, all the episodes. Again, it's always up on Funimation, or was always up. The anime, it's pretty good. I like it. I don't think this one has a manga with it, if I'm correct. No, I don't think it does. But the director is Takao Kato. I guess I didn't actually... Ooh, I didn't tell who the director was for the last anime. Sorry! I'll tell you, like, you go to the website, animeplanet.com. You will find a lot of animes you didn't know about. Poor excuse for me. The reviews people give it it varies, I guess, from person to person. But the thing is, with this type of anime, you see constant patterns of this type of anime that happens. Now, everybody knows there's always a pattern to an anime. Like, I guess there's at least three patterns that I've found out. Now some of the animes can be free of those patterns eventually, which is a good thing. We don't want to see constant repetition. But, like, what I've seen on the internet before is the first pattern would be like a guy accidentally wanders into a bad place, gets killed, is resurrected, and then joins forces with whoever is his savior. That's one. The second pattern is a girl moves in with the guy, cue the sexual tensions. And pattern 3 is give the protagonist some awesome powers, make each episode stand by itself, and have him always with these amazing powers. Now, and these are constant in this anime, but they're not always around. Now, again, I know, spoiling again, that the guy and girl will live together, but it's not like all weird and sexual like pattern 2. They're more concerned about getting everything solved first. And the guy does get killed and resurrected and joins forces with the group that helped them. However, each episode is not standing on its own. When new people get introduced into the anime, they are not killed off at the end of the episode. They will usually matter and will continue to be in the anime. But through all this, the anime follows some bad patterns, yet it manages to save itself from the cliche sadness. And that's a good thing to watch. It's saving itself from disaster. And so, like, the main guy and girl characters are both great, and they have a good interaction. This is, again, like I said, some people, from my opinion, and I follow with these reviewers, it's a good thing to watch. It's worth a try, but the anime isn't the best thing seen. It'll put a special place into your heart, for an action anime with all sorts of touches of other elements, but it never loses track of any of them. So definitely watch it. I guess this person also didn't score it, because they put question marks in all of them, and that somehow they give it an 8.8 out of 10. And sometimes you might just watch it because there's other animes that are lacking that you want to watch, and I agree with this other person here. The characters are not super memorable, and that their powers will sometimes lack. To me, also, yes, I couldn't even remember the main characters' names. But again, this anime is also your typical action shonen, which is like a step above like all mediocre shonens by like ripping the hell out of several good ideas from the other successful shonen. There's just other issues that I do have. Now, what I've heard from people say about the studio, that the animation that was done by this group, Xbec, they can't hope for anything above an average overall. They never managed to create good or great animes. And this person, really said something like this director's a nobody who never managed to produce something worthwhile. And sometimes people, I guess, I don't know if the anime even mentioned the director's name. But some animes will always start with the teenager getting killed by some creature, like I said before, get resurrected by a weird person, girl, boy, immediately makes them an aid in tracking down the creatures. It's like, I guess like I heard from this other anime, it's almost like 3x3 Eyes, Bleach, and a whole lot of others that cross your mind for this. But it's not stealing their ideas from those animes. It's rather like they're common, and you end up comparing the similarities to the most memorable ones. And the monsters are another thing. Now, I agree with this. In the story, the monsters are called homunculus, and they're made from alchemy. Now, what anime does that also remind you of? We know this from Full Metal. So, isn't that kind of taking the homunculus idea, homunculus monsters from Full Metal and Full Metal Brotherhood? I don't know. And on each episode, the duo fights a homunculus, or like trains to get stronger, fight stronger monsters and their masters. Like, they have huge auras surrounding their bodies. Their hair goes straight up, change in color, start to glow. Now, what other anime does that lead you to? And the lead is slowly, like, taken over by, like, a dark side of his powers, too. Any other anime you could think of? In a way, I can kind of imagine Dragon Ball and Full Metal coming into this. There's so many examples you can use of this. And the classmates are almost lookalikes from Bleach, and the Society of Alchemists fighting evil members of another society, and it's so common. Like 90% of all shonen, as much as one anime wants to treat another anime as a standalone work, it'll end up... Hi, Rose. My dog just entered. What's the matter, Rose? Do you need help on the bed? Give me a minute. What do you need, Rose? You need on the bed? Should I put Rose on the bed? Should I put Rose on the bed? Okay, could you open my door? We'll put you on the bed. It'll be okay. Sit down. Please don't open my door. Sorry. My dog wants on the bed. In my parents' bedroom. And she opens my door, like, whenever there's a storm or something. It's cute. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. In the end, the anime will start gaining people's loss of interest. Because... I heard that she knocked her nose on my door. Because they'll lose the audience's interest because other shows are just too similar and are more better at showing the same content, but just in a more interesting way. Like a variety is like variety is more like the circle of life here, and the anime. It's a fine example of how a show... This anime is like an example of how a show that can have a fine application of established formulas and end up being forgotten by everybody else who simply have other shows who have better production values or more advertisement. This show was not advertised much. It's... In a way, this anime, it's easy to figure out, like, how the story and the characters are quite typical, and under, like, normal circumstances, should both take the base score. If the anime didn't, like, have any memorable ones, and it has 2 of those, the lead chick, the lead girl, Tokiko, who's, actually, it looks like a Rukio ripoff, and nor the leader male for being like the shonen hero TM. It's the one that's most memorable is the one villain gone anti-hero named Papillon. Like, this guy is crazy. He's among the most extreme cases of gayness, like gay coolness anybody's ever seen. now you probably be pointing like at to me saying no, Star Divers about like most gay coolness, but everyone in this anime is fabulously gay, while here he's the only gay guy, or looks like a gay guy. He like stands out in the crowd and is thus he stands out from the crowd and is far more funny and more memorable. He also belongs to the crazy villain becoming crazy ally category, which makes him even more interesting as a character, unlike all the rest who are pretty much stuck on the same role and will later be forgotten because they are all lookalikes to some other shows. The second minor villain, whose name is Moon, he was memorable for his ridiculous head and his even more ridiculous yelling of his name and power. This guy was pure insanity, and I also liked him for that, but he was more annoying to me. There isn't really much of a reason to try to remember any of the other characters. Like, the characters like I just brought up, they look like rip-offs from Bleach or FMA, but they are that generic, sadly. And now the story is better than average for the simple reason it's not stretching a simple quest to find like to like the last 500 episodes, nor does it throw it in its entire filler arcs. It doesn't fill in like the filler arcs. It's like the overall plot in the story may seem generic and predictable, but it's also 26 episodes, enough to cover at least 2 story acts, or no, I'm sorry, not acts, arcs, and that is a feat for a shonen show, and that'll give the anime a good 2 thumbs up, give it at least, or 1 thumbs up for that. The visual and the actions are not that bad. There are some battles that require strategy and teamwork, and the entire theme of the show is to choose teamwork over solo god level status, and that ends up like turning you into a destructive monster, which that's a good theme for this show. The opening theme is also extremely like blood boiling and offers you a good, nice first impression of what to expect. And I think this person actually provided the link to the YouTube opening song for it. And I will probably want to put that link, but if you check it out, I can't remember the name of the song. I can't remember the song name, but I liked it. And the voice acting wasn't bad either, especially like the 2 guys that I just now mentioned before, and the sound effects were not otherwise nothing special. So overall, this anime, it probably would have been worthwhile to watch back when it was like aired, but over the years, its novelty had faded away for like not having enough things you want to remember, or that'll get you to remember it or rewatch it, and like there's just not much innovation. It's a good, nice time killer if you get bored of Bleach and your expectations are not high. Otherwise, skip it. If that's not your thing and you're really searching, then you don't want to watch it. But if you're just passing the time because you're tired of like Bleach or Fullmetal, then this is just a good time passer. But again, like random people have scored it. But I think mainly like the character that mainly probably would save this anime was Papillon. Papillon, I think I'm saying this right. Because openly gay that's what saves this anime. Yeah, so that's all I got for this anime. Definitely check it out. I think probably middle schoolers will probably like this. Again, like I said before, it's a time passer. It's a good way like to just get it, like just to take away like thinking about Bleach or like, oh, the new episode for Bleach or anything like that, yeah, it's a good time passer. Okay, so that'll be it for this episode of Anime Review. The next one will be on one of my other favorite classics, that will be Blue Gender. It's actually pretty good, but I'm gonna stop here before I tell you more, so see you soon!